Are you looking to go full-time with Amazon FBA in 2020? Well, in today's video, I'm going to break down the steps and what's required of you to really scale and succeed full-time with FBA in 2020, so stay tuned. What's up, champs? Welcome to today's video. My name is Trevin Peterson. I'm a full-time 7-figure Amazon seller, and in today's video I'm going to be breaking down Amazon FBA full-time in 2020. A lot of people ask me, well, when should I go full-time, or should I quit my job, or what should I do? And I just kind of want to give you guys my 2 cents, my point of view, kind of from experience, what I think, and kind of give you guys some steps on what you should do in order to quit your job or take Amazon FBA as a full-time business. So before we dive into it, I want to dive into my seller account and let you guys know that this is the most up-to-date YouTube channel out. So right here, as you guys can see, I've done just over $10,000 for the day and just over $256,000 in the last 30 days. And I share that with you just to let you know that what I teach and talk about is what I implement in my own FBA business, and I only teach from experience. I don't get information and regurgitate it and tell you this thing. No, I go hands-on, I do something myself, and if it works, then that's what I teach. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to go down and hit the subscribe button, like this video, and leave a comment. And then also down in the description, I'll leave links to the free Amazon Champion Facebook group. Make sure to join that. If you guys want to join my mentorship program, I'll put the link down below there. And then there's also like a free training and then a free PDF guide that you guys can get as well. So make sure to check out those links. And without further ado, let's dive into the video. Okay, so Amazon FBA full-time in 2020. First, I want to talk about the opportunity. Is it possible? Absolutely. Anyone can do it. You just have to put in the time and the work, and you have to sacrifice what other people aren't willing to sacrifice. Everyone's asked me, Trevin, how have you seen so much success? What can I do to have that success? And it's the things that people didn't see me do. No one has seen me stay up literally for the first 6 months every single night until 3 in the morning. And then I woke up 7 o'clock and worked my 9 to 5. I spent so many hours outside of when most of the time people would have been sleeping, would have been partying, would have been hanging out with friends. I made sacrifices and I put in that time and the work, and 6 months later it paid off. So that's the first thing that you guys need to understand, is you have to be willing to put in the work, and you're gonna get out what you put in. So please understand that. That's the first thing that I tell people is, look, I have hustled, I have grinded, and I have spent a lot of time on my FBA business. And a lot of times people just see the cars, they see my lifestyle, they see the travel, they see where I'm living, they see the things that I have, but they don't see the work that actually took to get to that point. Most people didn't even realize that I sold on Amazon because I was flying under the radar that much. So not saying that you have to do that, but that's just what I did in order to get where I'm at right now. So have that in mind. That's the first thing. Yes, it's 100% possible, but you have to be willing to put in the time and the effort. The second thing that I want to talk about is everyone's situation is a little bit different. And what I mean by that is one person that wants to start Amazon may have a complete steady job. They may be making 6 figures a year as an accountant, as a lawyer, a dentist, whatever the case is. And they just want to maybe build a second stream of income, or maybe they want to stop their 9 to 5 and they just want to have more control over their life. And that may be one person. Another person may be kind of like my situation when I first started. I was young, broke, didn't have any money, didn't know what I was doing with my life, and it was kind of like, well, what am I going to do kind of thing. And then there's other situations that may differ. You may have to have money to provide for your family, and making a $2,000 investment in a product may not be the best situation. And so those are things that you just kind of have to weigh out and decide. And it kind of goes back to the first thing, is the sacrifices. Whatever circumstance, situation that you're in, it's going to require some sort of financial, time, effort, sacrifice. So for those that are young and broke like I was when I first started, I'll just kind of give you my 2 cents on that from personal experience. And what I told myself is, look, if I fail a product, I was 20 years old. If I fail a product, am I not going to be able to retire when I'm 50 or 55 or 60, which the social norm is, that's the goal, is get to 55, 60 and retire, and then just kick back and relax. If one product that's $2,000, or maybe you can launch 2 products for $2,000 or 3 products for $2,000, or 1 product for $1,000, whatever the case is, you need to put a price tag on that and ask yourself, can I lose that money? And if you say yes, then what's stopping you? You need to just go 100% in. And that's kind of what I was doing is, yeah, the $1,000 I probably should save and keep, and that's the smart thing to do. That's what society would tell you to do. But I was thinking, well, if I lose $1,000, I just need to work overtime, or I need to work that much harder so that I can pay rent. Or I need to go and start selling things or start a side hustle or whatever the case is. And I talk a lot about that on the channel, is some different side hustles that you can start to make some money to fund your business. But if that's you, what's stopping you? If you're afraid to lose $1,000 or $2,000, you're not seeing the big picture. Because $1,000, $2,000, yes, at that time is a lot of money, but now for me, $1,000, $2,000 for one product, I'm like, heck yeah, let's launch that product. If it fails, it fails. And so that's the mentality. If you want to go full time, you have to have is, you're going to have to take risks. You're going to have to be willing to put in some money, and yeah, that's going to hurt. But again, different circumstances. I'm not telling you to go into debt. I'm just saying that you're going to have to sacrifice some things, maybe not eating out, maybe not buying the latest, greatest iPhone, maybe not having a nice car, or whatever the case is. Just cut out some expenses. And I know it doesn't matter where you live, who you are, you can cut out expenses and you'll be shocked. You could probably save $500 a month easy if you just live a more minimalist lifestyle. And that's what I was doing for the first year of selling. I didn't really take any profits except for my little very bare minimum expenses that I had. And that's how I was able to grow my business, with starting with like $1,000. And yeah, a few months down the road, I invested a little bit more. But in total, my $1 million in sales that I've done, I've probably invested no more than $6,000 of my own money. I started, and then I started making money, and I just kept reinvesting. And that's the key to going full time, is having the cash flow and the money to reinvest into more inventory, into more products. And that's what I want to talk about, is number 3, is managing cash flow and inventory. If you want to go full time with Amazon, you need to understand you need to stay in stock. If you're not in stock, you're losing money, you're not getting paid, therefore you're not getting a check every single 2 weeks from Amazon. And if you're not getting a check, you can't sell on Amazon full time, because you have to provide for your family, you have to pay rent, you have to eat. Okay, so that's the biggest thing. Tip number 3, and the step number 3 to go full time, is having the cash flow to be able to order inventory, and then not only order that inventory, but have some spare to in case something happens for you, and you can live off of it, or you can launch a second product. That's crucial. Another thing, and this is kind of touches on all 3 of those kind of steps, is a lot of people are like, should I quit my 9 to 5 right now and just go 100% in full time to Amazon? And I'm like, yeah, you could do that, but the reality is you probably aren't going to see profits for a couple months. And so it does no good to quit your job as soon as you hear about the Amazon FBA opportunity. Keep your job, and like I was saying, make those sacrifices and work off time when you're not working, and work on your FBA business. And that alone will help you so much, because you're not stressing on, oh, how am I going to pay for rent? How am I going to pay for this? Because you already have a job. And if you're in the situation where you're like, well, I don't have a job, but I want to start a company. No, go get a job. You can start this part-time. And the reality is you can have a job and still work this full-time if you really wanted to. It's just, where are your priorities? And a lot of times people's priorities are over girls, money, alcohol, drugs, fancy things. Where is your priority? Friends? Now, family is important. I'm not saying to abandon your family. That's very important. But other worldly things, materialistic things, you don't need. You can make those sacrifices and absolutely start and grow an FBA business and take that full time. So now the golden question: when is at what point should I take this full time? For me, I had a number in my head, and as soon as I hit that number, I was like, I'm going full time, and that was $2,000 profit. As soon as I hit $2,000 profit, I was like, if I can hit $2,000 profit, that basically covers my expenses. Now you're probably wondering, well, where were you living? Like, were you living in a shack? Like $2,000? Like, that's not very much. Like I said, I was living very, like the bare minimum. I was eating Tapa ramen. I was eating peanut butter sandwiches. Like, I was eating I wasn't eating out like what a lot of people do. And so I promise, like I said, you can cut out expenses. So once I hit that 2,000, I'm like, okay, I'm going to dedicate all my time and effort to Amazon. No 9 to 5, just focus in on it. And that's when I really took my business to that next level, because it made me realize, look, I don't have anything else to fall back on. I have to go 100% in. And if I only put in a couple hours a day, I may not be able to pay rent the next. And so that is kind of the biggest kind of turning point that you guys need to decide is, what is that threshold? Where do you have to hit? And then once you hit that, then you have a goal, and that's very important. To set a goal is, okay, my expenses for the month is $3,000, so I have to do $3,000 profit each month, and once I get to there, then I'll quit my 9 to 5, and then you'll set goals to double that to 6,000 to 9,000 and just keep growing it. And so that's very important, is to set realistic goals. And I say realistic. A lot of people come to me and they're like, I want to make 100K in the first 6 months. And yeah, it's possible, but the reality is set goals to lead up to that point. And that's the biggest key of going full time with Amazon, is setting goals. And then once you get to that goal, you have to take the leap. And that's the biggest thing is, it's scary. It's scary to go in and have a date set in mind of, okay, this is when I'm going to quit my job. Yeah, it's scary. You're an entrepreneur, you're self-employed, and if you aren't putting in the work, you're not getting the paycheck. Where a 9 to 5, it's simple. Life's simple. And a lot of times people don't realize that. They think, oh, it's a lot more simple being a business owner, but it gets a little bit more complex than you think. You have to worry about taxes. You have to worry about making sure that you have money coming in. Insurance. I mean, there's a lot of different things that go into it that you don't really have to worry about with a 9 to 5. So have that in mind. Full time with Amazon, it is the best thing that I've ever done. Is basically say $2,000 once I get there, I'm going to quit. And if we look at like my numbers, the month that I quit, the next month I doubled, and then the next month I doubled, and then the next month I doubled. And it's because I was putting extra effort and extra time. So not only 9 to 5, I was working my normal, basically 9 in the morning to 3 in the morning at night. So instead of working 5 hours a day on my FBA business, I was working 15. So that's just kind of Amazon FBA full-time, my opinion. I hope this kind of helps you guys out, kind of gives you a sense of direction on where you want to take your FBA business. Set goals. Once you get it, you're going to have to take that leap and take that jump, and that's the most important thing. And just to end, a few tips for those that want to take FBA full-time. These are absolute musts if you want to take Amazon and really treat it as a full-time business. You need to get a trademark. That's very important. Trademark your brands. It's going to protect you, and that's basically setting your business up for the long term. So trademarking, getting your accounting together. That's one thing that has stressed me out. And I just met with my accountant a few days ago, and we're figuring out different things to make the process more simple, knowing your profit margins, understanding where the money is going and everything, taxes. Talk with a professional. If you're serious, get professional help. Talk with a professional, a tax professional, a CPA, an accountant, and get their opinion, and they'll help you and guide you. Those are the two biggest things scaling, other than having the cash flow. You need to have your big business organized. You can't just treat it as like a business that you rent out of your basement or your garage. You gotta set things up properly, protect yourself, create an LLC. And what I did is I created an LLC, and after the first year it made sense for me to change into an S Corp. And then you have to worry about payroll. And those are things, I don't want to kind of confuse you or get you guys stressed. Those are things that you worry about down the road. But those are things that you have to think about, and you have to basically seek for help and ask a professional. I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't have an accountant to kind of guide me and say, oh, this is what you need to do here, this is what you do here, this is this situation, this is what you should do here. So having those things organized, the money, and just having the dedication and making those sacrifices, if you fit those criterias, you can absolutely take Amazon FBA full-time and just explode. So I'm super excited about hearing the people that do make the leap in 2020. So drop a comment if that's you. What are your goals? Let me know. I'm super excited for you, and I'd love to help you as well along your journey. Get from A to Z a lot faster. Join my mentorship program. That's what it's designed to do. It's designed to help you get from point A to point B a lot quicker. That's why I designed it, because when I first started, I got to point A to point B really, really slow. And a lot of my students are able to do that a lot quicker, and with their first product, they're already surpassing me when I was selling for 3 months. So that's the goal, is to basically expedite the process. So make sure to join down below, and I just want to say thank you guys. If you guys enjoyed, subscribe, leave a comment, and drop a thumbs up on this video. And I just want to say thanks again, and we will see you in the next video.